to 165 followers.
Nice.
Damn it. No, that's not what I wanted to do. There, that's what I wanted to do. Oh, 166 followers. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she hasn't moved in a little bit.
Mhm.
Are you there? How old are you?
What, we're playing fast one now?
Your model wasn't moving, and we weren't sure if you were there,
Oh.
so we were trying to summon you.
I've told you I'm not undead.
Sure.
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 Sorry, I stopped by to make a snarky comment, then I went to the washroom.
Oh.
So I wasn't actually here. I assume I'm moving now.
Hello, my sisters, brothers, and and welcome to the Dungeon Lounge. Uh,
Ah.
Why?
Oh. We're in a void.
Big white void.
it's
Like
not all white.
Mostly
Dungeon
white.
Dungeon Lounge campaign reboot session 0 notes. That's where we are.
Yeah. I have to
Mm-hmm.
admit, like, Mal, like, with this big white void, like, I really wish I had, like, a pen tool or something like that. I want to doodle on this so bad.
Oh yeah, too bad we're not doing this in Tabletop Simulator.
I know. I could doodle so many kitty faces.
Kitty.
Alright, hang on.
Kitty.
See, I don't like doodle crude things. I'm sophisticated. I draw cat faces.
Sophisticated.
Sophisticated cat
Uh-huh.
faces.
Sophisticated.
So just give me a second here.
Take your time.
I will wiggle for the amusement of others.
Okay.
Or not. You know what? Don't let me dictate what amuses you.
Save.
What to do, Elizabeth?
Just for you. Oh, whoops.
You're not my VTuber mom.
Oh my god.
Not with that attitude.
Oh.
Oh.
There. Just for you.
Oh, there's a kitty. Hi,
Just-
kitty.
Just for you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Meow.
Alright, are we good to go ahead here then?
Well,
Yes,
you're the one
there
running
is.
this.
There is satisfactory kitty content now.
Alright. So, let me just... Okay, so, the purpose behind this.
Hi, Sophie.
Hi,
Sorry.
Fee.
Hey, Sahime.
Yeah.
Alright, so the purpose behind the reboot that we all should keep in mind is that we're changing to a series of smaller and more episodic games so that people can drop in and drop out more easily, so we can keep up with playing every week. And, we're all very unhappy that this was originally supposed to be a D&D, role-playing focused channel. And out of almost 6 months of doing this, we haven't even gotten 10 sessions.
We have played a lot of Final Fantasy 14.
We have played a lot of Final Fantasy
But
14.
we're not a Final
we're not. We're not
Fantasy
that
14 channel.
No.
No, and that's
Not
very,
yet, anyway.
very unfair. Very unfair to poor Sasha, who's not interested in it.
I'm sorry.
All right.
How dare you all have fun in a fun game that amuses you?
Exactly.
How dare we?
How dare. So
All right.
rude.
So here is the campaign that I am proposing to. Let's see here. There we go.
Oh, we're all very
Mal,
quiet.
Prank us.
Everybody but Mal is very quiet. Oh, probably because...
Make us loud.
Say something.
Daddy Mal, I'd like to be louder, please.
Why did that sound wrong?
Probably is wrong.
Because she called me daddy.
Yeah, just a little bit.
words Elizabeth is never allowed to say again. Daddy Mal.
Yeah.
That is
I love you, Elizabeth, but no.
It's
no.
fine.
That's the last thing that I expect out of you.
I just kind of rolled off the tongue.
But again, Elizabeth being low-key lewd is hardly surprising.
I am not. I only have pure thoughts.
Okay.
If you're hearing
Uh-huh.
lewd things, that's your own biases that you're bringing to the stream, and I can't help that.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
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 Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly. The best allegedly.
Oh, Elizabeth.
Okay, here, let's save this. There we go. All right.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so the campaign that I am proposing, it would be more focused on base building. with some of the exploration themes that we wanted in our previous campaign. That was a big part of our previous session 0. There would be a bit of an ongoing story, but it would be far more episodic. And also there'd be things like, if I need you guys to have a critical clue, there's going to be multiple ways for you guys to get that critical clue, so that way sooner or later you'll run into it. Yeah? And having somebody drop out temporarily doesn't necessarily mean that they won't ever, like, you guys won't ever be able to get that information again, if you follow me.
Yes.
Sort of. Maybe.
Oh, there's another kitty face.
Sasha focusing on the real important stuff right now.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm
okay.
here. I'm here for real.
No,
It's
no,
just
I know.
there was a kitty face,
It's okay.
and I had to notice it.
Kitty counter 2.
Right.
Yeah.
On top of that, it would allow for people, including guests, to drop in and out. We can have lots of guests, and I know we've had Sahime obviously is interested in playing with us. Also, Stark and Lily and a whole bunch of our other friends play, VTuber friends and streamer friends play D&D, and I'm sure we'd love to have them as guests. So hopefully this would work for that. The idea is that a new continent has been discovered. Totally unexplored. And you would be part of a multilateral push to colonize and explore this mysterious new land.
Ooh.
And so the idea would be that you'd have your home base, your colony, for lack of a better word, on this new continent, and you would be able to build and upgrade this little base, as well as do quests and other important missions to explore, get resources, take out dangerous monsters, do adventure stuff, right?
Okay.
And at the end of every session, when you're done your mission, we will sit down and let you guys spend resources and do some actions to build your base up a little bit more.
So would this use a bit of the mechanics from the house building system from the Song on Ice and Fire system?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Okay,
I'm taking ideas from a whole bunch of other places, but it's also like a very much based on the house system.
Gotcha. Okay.
Brain, where was I?
you were explaining that we would be there would be this base building system. We would have an established base on an entirely undiscovered continent.
And it would be like, if you show up for a session, you get to take an action. So even our guests will be able to like do stuff and like put their own fingerprints on our the little base that we're all contributing to collectively.
Okay.
How does that sound?
I think it sounds very interesting. I'd be interested to see the execution. Do you have any idea of like, would we be starting as like low level characters? Like, would we be starting at level 1? Would the intention be that we start a little higher, or would we be like these epic level 20 characters? Like, just kind of curious where we would be sitting at power level wise.
Well, thankfully we can discuss that.
Ooh. Oh, sorry, Alosa was just commenting we could name all the towns. Dungeonburg, Loungeville, or New Dungeon Lounge.
Hang on, I just gotta manipulate things again. Oh, wait.
All right,
I
sure.
approve.
Bye.
I copied the wrong thing.
Bye, everybody. We went back to our home planet.
Oh, we all disappeared? He messed with the layers, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I also copied the wrong thing, so I gotta copy.
Oopsie, it's okay.
While you're
Yes.
messing around in OBS, it's the chat box is impossible to read
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right.
because of
Yeah.
the white.
Oh, is
Blech.
it? Oh,
Yeah.
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 It has rasterized outlines, but
It's not
very
strong enough.
Yeah.
it's not strong enough to read.
You're right.
I don't know if it's possible you could put a background color on just the
But
chat
yeah,
box.
yeah. Throw in
hang
the
on, hang on.
the uh, the chat.
I think I can handle this.
Yes.
I
I
think I know how
believe
to
in
do
you.
this.
I believe in you, Mal. You can do this. Yeah.
Open
I
with
support your ability to add a black box.
paint.
You will make it work. Ultra Dungeon Lounge 2, the final challengers.
Final boss, making chat visible.
There we go.
Hey!
Hey!
Oh,
Modern solutions for modern
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah. Well done, Mal. You
and
did it.
then what's the other thing? Where was I? Why blocker 2? Okay. We're going down here like this. And
make the text white, and no one can read chat.
perfect. Look at this.
You secret hidden chat.
All right,
Yeah, or
so-
yeah, you
Yeah.
could have just made the text black. That's a good point.
Meh.
So he makes the brains of this operation.
There's like one operating brain cell between the four of us. That's why we share a channel, because none of us have an operating brain cell to spare on our own. So we kind of need to like combine our forces, like
It's
a
like
Voltron
that-
of one operating
Okay.
human between the four of us.
It's like that one joke of all orange cats have one brain cell. And it's like, Mal has the cell today. Flora has the cell today.
Oh, I never have the brain cell.
Oh no, definitely not me. Yes, we invite you, Sahime, so we have a slightly higher than average intelligence when we have guests. Yeah.
Okay, are we all done?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing that I'd actually like to talk about in regards to leveling is the milestone system. What I thought would be a neat way to sort of integrate leveling and everything into the base building system, where is if you certain structures, particularly ones that would be helpful to organizing and building up this base of yours, this hometown of yours, but wouldn't exactly apply to adventuring, would actually increase a level counter for you guys. So instead of traditionally leveling up, if you guys build a town hall or a
school?
or school, whatever, then the level of every adventurer that has been or ever will be at your base goes up by 1.
Okay. I like that.
At
And here,
Fort Awesome.
An
I
Yeah.
interesting idea.
added another kitty for you there, Sasha.
Kitty. Aw. Kitty, thank you.
Kitty
I love
counter
the
equals
kitty.
3.
So does that sound interesting to you guys, or would you prefer to have a traditional XP system?
I'm fine with that, though I do worry a little bit about guests, because like say for instance if someone decides to join for like a one shot and like we're sitting around level 19, it's like, okay, you're welcome, we'd love to have as your guest here, making level 19 character now, please.
Well, some people would get really excited about that.
Some people would.
Yeah.
And it's not that hard. It's 5th edition D&D. This does not involve the calculus of something like making a Pathfinder character. You know? All right. So we're going to go with that. So most of my questions here were mostly involving if we did do something other than that. Here's a good question to consider. When do you want to level up?
Isn't that your decision?
I mean, like, do you want to do it between sessions? Do you want to do it on screen during
Oh, I see. I
sessions?
understand what you mean.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh.
Not how often do you want to level up, but when do you want to do the level up
Oh,
process?
when do we actually? I would think it'd be kind of interesting to do it on stream, if
Yeah.
only because, like, especially like that moment when you roll up your HP and you're like, yeah, or oh
Oh
no,
no.
Yeah,
I
no.
gotta,
He
I
may
got,
wants chat to decide
I'm,
all of our leveling
Yeah.
up experience.
Yeah.
I don't know,
That-
chat giveth, chat taketh away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be terrible.
We'd be like level 100, and by the whims of one session, then the next session would be like no levels ever again.
Yep.
All right, so anything else? Any other questions that people have relating to experience points and leveling?
Is there anything like in terms of like? I guess all I mean to say is like say for instance, like I know we're not at character creation yet or anything like that, but is there anything for this setting that you'd like to see like off the table in terms of that? Like
Yeah.
I can see like say for instance, Warforged off the table. There's going to be no robot people.
That's another topic that we can get to. I do have a separate thing for
Oh,
character
okay.
creation.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
And you're actually leading me around my
I'm
page
sorry.
of notes in a way that's very convenient. So I'm very
Oh,
glad
I'm
for
sorry.
that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Less sorry.
All right, so here's a good question. What level do you want to start at?
There's a part of me that wants to be like a little higher level because I've never played a D&D game past level 4. Because the game either peters out or what have you. So there's a part of me that's like, I want to get past level 4. Let me get past level 4.
Yeah, I've never played a game past level 3, so
Yeah.
that would be great.
We can absolutely do like starting at level 4 if you want. Or level 5. I probably wouldn't want to go above 5.
That's fine. I'm not saying like, give us the keys to the kingdom and we'll just run around stomping on things all day. But
Smash.
I guess
if the idea... Sorry, carry on.
I think I was about to literally say the same thing as you. I think the idea is like if we're part of an expedition team, we can't be green.
Yeah. Like if they're sending people out to like colonize this new place, they wouldn't send out probably their green adventurers to handle
I
a
found a
startup
billboard
like
this morning and signed up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But at least somebody with a little bit of experience.
We have been vetted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Starting at like not level 1.
All right.
Yeah.
Who wants to put a number on?
Well, I know nothing about the power levels of D&D, so.
Okay, so for being level 4, you would have gotten your first feat or what are they called? Attributes, characteristics? I forget. The main stat increase. You would have either gotten the main stat increase or a feat, which is a fairly major step up.
So I guess what you mean to say is like we're a little bit, I don't want to say settled into our roles, but like we are.
Everybody would have an archetype by level 3. And then you have your first chance for anybody to get a feat at level 4. And then at level 5, I don't think it's universal. So I'd say the power difference between level 5 and level 4 is a little bit less than level 4 and level 3.
Okay.
So, like I said, I'm comfortable up to 5. And, so to give you an idea, that should give you an idea.
I guess to some degree though, like I don't want to say like levels don't matter, but like I guess if the idea is that this is supposed to be about founding a fort or something in untamed wilderness, like I'm guessing like aside from like animals or creatures, we're not going to find another population here, are we?
Not that we know of.
I have it under sensitive topics.
Okay.
But there's not going to be any. Unfortunately,
You're not gonna make us. You're not gonna make us do an imperial colonialism,
let
are you?
me explain. All right, give me a minute here. All right,
I'm
is
sorry.
that fine?
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
No fighting.
Okay. I'm not fighting.
No fighting.
I'm not.
I have it under sensitive topics, and unfortunately, I am forced to use the word colony because what we
That's
mean
what it
by
is.
colony and what we mean by colonialism has diverted recently over the past few years.
Fair enough.
But I am not comfortable on running a colonization themed game from the perspective of the colonizers. I know colonization themes showed up in Journeys Through the Multiverse, and I was very happy to have that where you have this invasive evil empire in the Doom Knights. Flipping the script, I'm not interested in doing that. So, there will be no sentient species on the continent that you're exploring at the time that you're exploring it.
Okay.
There might be ruins.
Understood.
There might be things to
Okay,
discover. I am not saying anything one way or another on that. You're
Fair
not
enough.
going to run into native populations.
I would like to
Alright.
point out, like Sasha yesterday was commenting, that she was a little bit perplexed by me asking about crabs, but the chat is now discussing crabs.
So for starting level, does anybody have a preference between 4 and 5?
Oh, 1 second.
Four seems good.
Yeah, 4 seems fine to
guess.
me.
Alright, so we'll start at level 4.
Yeah, sure. 4.
Okie dokie. Alright. So moving right along to other character creation things, I might have to... This might end up being behind... Yeah, it is.
The blue.
So,
The blue.
no, it's behind your head.
Ah, my big fat head's in the way.
That's okay.
Ah.
I didn't have a ton of extra notes for experience and leveling, so we can just pop that up a few levels. Save.
Make a PowerPoint presentation, Mel.
Yeah. That works. Hey, I go to all this extra work and you're giving me shit for it.
I always give you shit. What's the difference now?
You're being a super gremlin today.
I'm sorry.
After I go and do all this hard work for you guys. Jeez.
I'm very I'm kind of like awake and sleepy, and it's kind of left me in this gremlin state.
No, don't bullshit me.
What do you mean?
Just don't do it. I was even giving you kitties. I was even doodling kitties for you.
The kitties are for Sasha.
They're also for you. You said you wanted to doodle.
Yeah, I did.
Kitties.
Meow.
Chat, you see what I have to deal with.
Not every day.
Every day.
Some days I'm chat's problem when I go stream.
Okay. So what method do you guys want to use for determining your stats? As I've said previously, I don't care if you want to do the fixed array.
I want to roll it.
Rolling,
I want to roll it.
Point by. Okay.
I want to roll it.
Are we doing point by? Or, sorry, are we doing rolling for everybody then? I don't care what method it is, as long as everybody's on the same method.
Roll.
Let the dice gods decide how we fare.
Mal, you know how I feel about rolling for things, so...
Yeah, I do. Okay, so...
Yeah.
I guess I'm outvoted.
You don't like rolling for stats, Sasha?
No, I don't like how random it is.
Okay.
But if everybody else wants to do that, that's fine. I'll deal with it.
Alright, so just allow me
Amos.
to decide.
Both characters on stream, let chat decide.
In terms of disallowed races and classes, species, I should say.
The book. I'll be honest. The book calls them races, so I can understand you using that word.
Yeah, but I trying to.
Mm-hmm.
It's a colonialism thing.
I gotcha. Don't worry about it.
So for species, nothing with a fly speed or a swim speed.
I can't be a wingaling.
You can be a avian species or a bird-like species as long as you can't fly.
So like a penguin? Wait, no, that has swimming. Bugger. I'll figure it out.
I want to be a kitty.
Here, this is. For example, the Kenku species in Volo's Guide to Monsters is a bird-like species that doesn't actually fly.
Oh, those things are
That's
cute.
fine.
They're cute.
However, air genasi, water genasi, and Aarakocra are off the table. And just
Is
as a general,
Asmar off the table? I'm
No.
guessing they are.
you can be an Aasimar. Aasimar don't have a natural fly speed either.
Oh, I thought they did. Well, shows what I know.
Nope, they do not. In terms
I'm
of
learning.
classes, everything that has some kind of pedigree is fine by me. So Bloodhunter, which is the Matt Mercer Witcher inspired class that he made for his own campaign, and it got published, is fine. Anything from Unearthed Arcana is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think the only base class that they've come out with D&D 5 is something called Mystic, which I don't know anything about, but it is pedigree.
I'll be honest now, the books I have are Xandathar's Guide, Eberron, and the Player's Handbook, so don't worry, I'm probably not going to come to you with anything too exotic.
Yeah, far be it from me to expect that somebody would actually go the extra mile here.
Well, no, I just meant like I don't have access to those books.
Not-
And this is
confidence.
my first time hearing those other books exist.
Yeah, but
so.
not everybody is you. Yes? Can we agree on this?
I agree, Flora and Sasha are not me.
Okay. But the Super Saiyan class made by XX Goku is awesome 69XX and posted on Reddit? No.
To be
To be curious, I'd like to at least see that class, like just to read it.
Yeah.
It was an example.
Not right now.
Poor Mal.
I'm sorry I exist.
I don't have any problem with you existing. I have every problem with you giving me a hard time when I'm trying to get through this freaking
I'm honestly
second
not
era.
trying to. Except for like a little bit here and there, I'm honestly not trying to.
Well, I'll just sit quietly then.
Yeah, well, apparently I'm in timeout. I'll just be quiet for 5 minutes.
Everybody else can ask questions and suggest things. But Elizabeth is on timeout. No. You can say stuff, just like...
It's really hard not to laugh right now.
I don't mind you saying stuff. It's just you're kind of being a gremlin and interrupting me a lot, okay?
Trying not to.
We need a bonk gif.
I do.
That way I can bonk Elizabeth for being a gremlin and being super horny.
I am not. I will.
New emoticon, Gremlin Elizabeth.
Oh yeah. Alright, and then for your background, hey, you can make up whatever shit about home, like the place where you guys came from that you want. I will try to work it in.
Cool.
And another thing about character creation, we've put a lot of effort. We've gone to the trouble of getting portraits for your characters and stuff. If you want to just recycle your character from Journeys Through the Multiverse, totally cool with me. You want
I
to
think
bring
I might
back
just do
Wander,
that.
Nemia. Yeah, just keep in mind that
I'll
elements
have
of
to
your
think about it.
background aren't going to be in there, and we're all good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. Keep things simple.
Yeah, and now that we're starting on level 4, you don't even have to worry about changing anything on your character sheet except you're getting rid of your magic items.
Not the bow.
Yes, the bow.
It's all right. I'm sure I'll get a new one. If we're Indiana Jonesing, then we'll probably
Okay.
get a new one.
So, any other character creation related things that you guys want to add?
Not that I can think of.
Mm-mm.
I
It was
think I'm
pretty
good.
thorough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we will move on to the sensitive topics section. Everybody's favorite section.
Yeah.
It's important.
All right. So,
Hi, Licky.
Hi, Licky
I'm on
Luck.
timeout.
So, my basic standard for everybody's behavior, in character, out of character, etc. No sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia. I don't care if it's in character. I don't care if it's out of character. No, do not. I know that we are generally good little munchkins here who don't truck with that, but just in general, I would no. Okay?
Yep.
As I mentioned before, we're not going to do colonialism themes, so. Oh, fuck. This is getting difficult. There we go.
I'll set a swear.
Oh,
Thank
you,
you,
Licky
Licky.
Luck.
Everyone, take a
cool.
drink.
Yep. I am hydrated and caffeinated.
Or black cherry
Ooh.
Pepsi. Yeah.
Coke Zero. Woo.
So, we're going to avoid colonialist themes. There aren't going to be any sentient species on the continent that you're exploring, period. End of story.
Okay.
Okay.
There might be other fun things. Believe me, that is not the, that's not going to be the, penalty for me that it might sound like. I will find plenty of ways to insert villains into this game. Okay, other sensitive things that we want to avoid. This is open for anybody to say anything that makes you uncomfortable. That we're just, it's not, no questions asked, not going to be part of the game.
I can't think of anything, but if I do, I'll let you know.
I think we talked about before about like certain types of like violence, I guess maybe is the best way to phrase it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned before that I'm not comfortable with violence towards eyes. Like having people be like injured like after the fact, like, you know, being a person with an eye patch, yeah, that's fine. That's okay, no concerns there. But like
and
yeah.
I recall Sasha before saying that she also didn't want anybody losing fingers or limbs. Which I'm totally fine with. Also,
Okay.
like, no torture. That's always something that gets me upset when my players start doing that, so let's just not.
Okay.
Anything else, Flora?
Not that I can think of.
Oh, another thing that we had previously was no violence towards small animals.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pet kitties. And burbs.
Yeah.
And squirrels.
I've seen too many serial killer documentaries.
Oh, jeez. I misspelled that. Here, I add an S. S. There. Okay.
I'm gonna say something that might blow your mind, Sophie, but Coke and Pepsi taste almost exactly the same to me.
Oh,
So
no, they don't. No, they don't.
I said almost.
No. There's like, I'm not gonna get into like the necessarily one is better than the
Yeah.
other, but I can tell the difference when I'm drinking Coke or Pepsi.
I've mixed Coke and Pepsi before, and it tasted exactly the same.
All right. Last thing on sensitive topics. Character death. What do we want character death to be a possibility? And how should we handle it?
Personally, I am okay with it as long as it's not like because like say for instance, the best example I remember was when we were playing the Dragon Age system. There was a mechanic on which it was like you roll on this table to see whether or not you cast a spell, and if you botched it well enough, you could just die on the spot because your character is replaced by a demon, which is effectively a character death. And I was kind of like, I do not like that kind of thing. I don't like the idea of. I'm not opposed to like, I make my final stand here. No one passes this bridge but me. I will die on this bridge. That I'm totally okay with. But like,
Yeah.
roll a dice. Oops, you're dead now. No, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think as long as it's like, meaningful
Yeah.
and not a rocks fall and you just die situation, or you roll the die and you just die situation.
Yeah, my
Okay.
usual
I'm fine with it.
criteria is I'm kind of terrible with making character sheets, and even though I get lots of help, I always I guess yeah, I don't want my death to be meaningless. I want it to contribute to plot or characters in some meaningful fashion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, on the topic of meaningfulness, we're all genre savvy enough, but I'll just check to make sure. You're all familiar with the Wharf effect?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in that case, would you call that if somebody was killed just because you encounter a new monster and it's super powerful and it kills somebody in a combat, does that count as meaningful?
Yes, because
Yeah.
well, when I say meaningful, I mean like it was a death that was like it occurred, naturally, whether it's, a
Yeah.
story beat or you just, you were in
Oh,
over your head with a monster or
yeah,
whatever.
like if it was clearly telegraphed we were in over our heads, we had the opportunity to run, but the character decided in
Yeah.
character to be like, no, I fight
Yeah.
this here and now. Then yeah, pay
Yeah,
for that
the only
decision.
kind of deaths I'm not like cool with or like, it's like, oh, the roll there's a chance you just die situation in a dice roll or,
Yeah.
rocks fall, everybody dies, or,
Yeah. Well,
you
Or
know,
like
you
cheap,
get
I think
killed
is the
off
best way to
screen
put
or
it.
whatever.
yeah.
Where
Or
it's
like
like,
another player just like kills you, but I don't think that would ever be a problem with this group.
no.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're not looking for like banana peel into a pit type of death, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's another good question. What about things like sickness and starvation?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That would have been a situation we got ourselves into.
Yeah, in theory, yeah.
Yep.
Sasha?
Sure.
Okay.
I would say the
mean,
only
I
thing to
don't.
warrant, or sorry, Sasha, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, I'd accept it, but I wouldn't prefer it. But I mean, obvious. Like you can't control your death, but still, like
Mhm.
if if there's a way for my character to go out, I would
Yeah.
much rather it be something dramatic and story driven and not just like, oh no, they
Yeah.
couldn't carry on because character was starved or something like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just these are particular things that I wanted to get into because having a meaningful or dramatic death, well, that could be somebody starving to death because you guys totally neglected your food situation, you had a really bad winter. That could be dramatic, that could be meaningful, but
Yeah.
it's not something that's gonna be cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you always want to die cool, but not everybody dies a cool death,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
True.
Like, you know how I run things like World of Darkness and Dark Heresy, where like I am totally cool in games where it is grittier, with somebody going, "Oh, you botched a shooting roll and your gun explodes and takes you out."
Yeah. I guess let me just say it's like we don't mind paying
This-
for our mistakes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you're going into winter, your food supply's bad, and we're like, it's fine, we'll figure it out. Good berry exists. Don't worry about it. No problems in this world. And then, we ignored your warnings, and then the problem happens. It's like, okay, yeah, we haven't the colony. And you're already thinking it's been burned down to the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, with our
I am
track
a
record,
gremlin. I'm not that fast acting.
I'm just gonna throw this out here now. If you guys expect to get out of every food-related situation by just being like, "Oh, we have a bunch of druids who are gonna cast Goodberry over and over,"
Well, that requires you to have a source of berries, though, right?
yeah. You're gonna strip your campsite area clean of berries in short order.
We're gonna make a grate. We're gonna get a grape farm going, so we can have wine and good berry source for eternity. Don't take my idea seriously.
I've never thought of it that way, but I guess a grape is technically a berry. Like you think about it in terms of its own thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
we're drunk and well fed.
So in terms of sensitive topics, as usual for me, if anything comes up, even if it's in the middle of a session, even if it's in the middle of a sentence, something happens that you guys aren't comfortable with, say something. I will fucking change direction so fucking fast it'll make your head spin. Don't even worry about it.
Something I did want to add, just with you were mentioning sickness, which is definitely a reality of this, founding a new fort and all that stuff. I would like to add a note that to some degree I do play D&D and tabletop RPGs as escapism, so I would not like a reenactment of the last 2 years to come up in a D&D game.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna just totally eliminate that then.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm gonna go.
I understand it's a very real thing. I don't want to harsh on that too badly, but just.
Yep.
Okay,
it's already off the table.
All right, sorry.
Like I said, you guys can change your mind. Something becomes not okay later. Something becomes not okay on our very last session. It's gone. No problem whatsoever. All right. So, world building time.
Ooh, world building.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, it's not letting me have as much fine control over this box as I want, so we're gonna have to settle for that. Okay, so, politics and faction mechanics. Would that be something that interests you? Having, like, the areas that you leave, you being able to have your colony build up influence with them, or favor, or whatever, and... Okay.
Yes.
What color should I make this section? Let's go blue. I'll give that a big old checkeroony. Okay. And then moving right along, elements that you guys want included in the setting.
What kind of tech level were you aiming for this type of campaign?
Because I'm cool with artificers being there, I'm fine with, like, clockwork and steam power and things like that to be like sort of magical and special, but they're not common.
Okay.
So Warforged are fine.
Like I know, like to some degree, like I guess the idea would be like, oh, like I'm kind of getting an idea for like a fun like I don't want to say like a machinist because that's an FF14 class, but like the idea of like someone who's like kind of like a combat inventor who's like, I was recruited for this mission to help make clean water and other bring technological advancements that help get the fort established, but like also goes out to the battlefield and it's like laser or not laser beams, but like pew pew, pow pow. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well.
That's an artificer.
Understand what you
There's
mean.
a class for that.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's artificer.
Trains. Yeah, Sahime. New mission. Build train.
All right, so artificers, clockwork, steam. Okay. I'm not going to have non-magical guns, though. I would like to keep that out. That's all.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. If there's a different weapon I should be using in the artificer, like maybe like a powered crossbow or something, that's fine.
There is an artificer archetype called the artillerist, which is all about like you have your gun or your cannon or your superpowered crossbow or whatever it is. And all your abilities sort of revolve around that.
Cannon.
And I don't want to take that away as an option, but for like Sasha, the arcane archer, to have a musket, I would prefer to keep that out.
Hey.
Sahime is obsessed with good berries. Jeez.
Good berry is a very practical Romulan thing, and I think it's one of those things where like it's easy to forget the utility of certain things like that in certain campaigns. So yeah.
So other elements you all want included? Sasha, Flora, you haven't said anything yet.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of stuff.
Oh, as I was saying before, Elizabeth interrupted me.
All right.
I love archaeology. If there can be some form of archaeology involved, I'll leave the details and specifics up to you. But
yep, totally fine. Yeah.
That's the only thing I have right now in my head.
All right. Other things like if you guys want nightly orders to be a thing, or
that would be fun.
Okay. Secret societies.
Yeah,
that would because I do like the idea of that. Yeah. Well, because I like the idea of like because you were talking earlier about like the idea of like factions, so I do like the idea of like different groups from the homeland have different interests and they've all kind of sent like their agents or whatever. Like there's different agendas. Like there's people there who want to see it succeed but on their terms. There's people there who wanted to see it fail. There's people there who who just want money. They're just like fuck all this, just profit, please.
All right. So another thing that I would like to do while we're building is when we're on that sort of base building step of every session, and let's say Elizabeth goes ahead and is like, you know what, I'm going to spend some of our lumber and we now have a inn. One thing that I'm definitely going to do is be like, okay, we have an inn. What's the inn called? What's the innkeeper's name? Are they married? Do they have a family?
Mm-hmm.
And let's run that off on the fly like that. I thought it'd be an interesting, fun thing to do as we sort of go.
Yeah.
I like it. It's like one of those computer games where you can name everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except even more, like, this would be a way for you guys to add stuff that you think would be interesting. Like, we're going to have the innkeeper, but his son really wants to be a knight, and maybe that person will end up being my character's squire, things of that nature. Like, if you want us to throw stuff in when we're doing that, totally cool.
Oh yeah, it's a neat idea.
So I'm going to remove this. So last thing, in terms of world building, is how much audience participation do we want?
I like the idea of audience participation, if only because like I don't want to restrict the world building to us. Though I mean, like I think our chat's been quite awesome. Like we've had some really great engagement from the people who've been coming, and we love them very much, and thank you. I do think that we should, and I think you are ultimately DM. If there's something here and there that you're just like no to. I don't want you to feel like you can't say no, because chat has decreed, this innkeeper is now Harvey Birdman. You're like, no, I veto Harvey Birdman or something.
Oh man,
I want to counter veto, not Harvey Birdman.
Yeah,
it was literally the first name I thought of. I don't know why I thought of it.
Harvey Birdman is awesome. He should totally be an innkeeper.
Yeah, here's your Kenku barrister that takes up shop in your colony.
But I think like a good opportunity for like chat involvement is like stuff like you're talking about, oh, we have an innkeeper, let's come up with, a backstory for him. That's like good opportunities for like involvement from chat.
What I'm gonna say then is, because I know some of you are better at thinking off the cuff than others, if I do ask you something like that when we're on that base building step and you want to throw something out to chat, totally fine.
Sorry.
Another thing. Another thing that I was thinking of is having at the end of every session, chat votes for a character that they thought was coolest or did something awesome or whatever, and that person starts the next session that they show up to with an extra point of inspiration.
I like it.
Game years ago, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I know this is something that we used to do ages and ages ago, but I think around players, there's a bit too much politics. And stuff around that, whereas the chat would be separated enough that we could do that sort of thing.
Something that was brought up actually by the chat was also the naming of places of businesses, shops.
Yep. I got that down.
Okay.
Should pop any second now. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, we're not. I don't think the intention is to make this like a Twitch plays D&D where we end up going the right for like 3 hours because a gremlin in chat has decided we're going right for 3 hours.
Okay. Now.
Oh, that's a good idea, Lawson.
Because. Okay. I like that. I like your enthusiasm, Alosin, but the reason why star forts were great for defense has to do with the mechanics of attacking a fort with cannons and rifles. And there's a reason why square forts and round forts were used more often in medieval ages. Flex my brain!
I mean, honestly, if you let me design it, I'll make the fort the size of the shape of a heart.
Well, who knows? You're not going to be...
Fort love.
You'd have to find a source of stone first, or get a bunch of stone from the homeland to build a wall and actually make a fort, so...
Build that wall.
You're probably not going to be there yet at the beginning.
Oh, wait. Is Licky still here?
Licky Glock? You there, Licky Glock?
Sorry, I don't mean to pause things. I know it's his birthday, so I wanted to say happy birthday. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh,
he is here. Happy birthday, Licky Glock.
Happy birthday, Licky Glock.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Just drawing another cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to up the kitty content.
Will there be
Yeah.
cats in this colony?
Oh yeah.
Yay.
Like something that you don't you have to understand about any sort of campaign where you're on a boat is that where there are rats and there are rats everywhere, there's gonna be cats.
Yeah. I'm on a
I'm
boat.
good. I'm gonna need like 10 cats to start off with.
Maybe not that many, but
Okay, maybe 2.
yeah, we can do 2 cats.
Helios Part 2, Cat Mom.
Hell yeah.
Or Cat Dad. You know what? You do you.
So it's up here in the corner, and I've had it revealed for a while, but like I didn't have anything to hide there because I totally forgot to fill it in.
Okay.
But so player DM behavior. One thing that I always say is, please no phones.
Mm-hmm.
And please pay attention, no other games. I know I'm really bad for like having a game going while we're role playing on our home games, but we're here, we're gonna be performing for people. Let's try to keep things going and keep things running smoothly. And another thing to that end is please try to think of your next action in combat when it's not your turn.
I'm sure there'll be dogs, Alosin. I'm pretty sure Mal would run a game with no dogs.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be
They're gonna be pupper doggos.
pupper doggos.
Ime, don't bring up Mal's own sins.
Listen, there are a few things that I've done in the past, some of which I'm not proud of.
Do as he says, not as Mal does.
Hey, when I'm playing Final Fantasy during our home game, I always make sure that I stop playing Final Fantasy whenever my character is relevant to the scene.
Okay.
So you're not paying attention when you're not relevant to the scene?
Sometimes I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I would thought honestly you were gonna say like, oh, I just run Praetorium, so it's okay. I'm not missing anything.
Well, yeah, generally I run either like really easy dungeons or I'm just like collecting stuff as a botanist or whatever. So it's usually pretty low key anyway.
Fair enough.
All right.
Cool.
Anything else that anybody would like to list as an expectation for our collective behavior?
Oh.
I feel
We'll
like
go quiet.
I feel I just broke Flora's heart about Thursday night game.
I mean, honestly, you did a little bit, but that's okay. I'll get over it.
Oh no.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I mean, I guess the thing is like to some degree, like we've been like obviously not streaming it, but we've been playing together for 10 years. We generally know each other's habits at this point. Like they're like aside from like things here or there, we generally know how to predict other people's bullshit, or not even bullshit, but just like because like say for instance, like when I was planning for the one shot, like I knew I had to include a burn the building down scenario because I'm like this group will do it. This group will burn the building down if given the opportunity. And that's not meant as an insult or not meant as any kind of slander or anything like that. It's just a case of we've been playing together for a very long time, and I think we get along very well, and we generally know where I'm not gonna say we don't surprise each other because I think that still does happen, but we generally we respect one another in terms of, behaving and, not trying to be too interrupty. I mean, I know I'm an interrupterson, and I try not to, and I'm sorry, but I've lost the thread on this, so I'm just gonna shut up.
I understand what you mean.
I feel horrible, for the record.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I know you were playing Final Fantasy. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it.
But I do feel bad. Okay, so they kind of have rounded tips.
Well, we're not talking about Thursday night right now. We're talking about stream game.
Yeah, we are. And our expectations for one another.
Yep.
Yeah. I think Elizabeth summed it up pretty good.
All right.
I mean, certainly, I feel like if for whatever reason I say or do something, while we're going that is inadvertently made you uncomfortable, either a bad turn of phrase or an action you just legitimately like makes you uncomfortable or whatever, like please just say,
For
hey,
sure,
Elizabeth, don't do that.
Just give me a second here.
I mean, like,
Flora, please accept this doodle of a dragon raccoon as a sign of my penance.
What the heck is that? It looks like a cat with buck teeth.
Sure, I accept your whatever that is supposed to be.
I can't look at it directly without laughing.
All right. Moving right along. Rules related miscellaneous stuff. No unannounced die rolls. I know you guys are generally really good about this, but don't roll for something if I don't ask you to, and then just be like, "Oh, I did a perception check."
I just rolled a 20. Woo, watch me perceive this.
You know the person that we know in real life who does this all the time, and it ticks me off. So
I do.
Ishmael. No, it's Ishmael.
He's not here, but
I didn't want him to call him out. I definitely didn't want to call out his screen name. Jeez.
It's fine.
PvP.
He'll laugh about it.
PvP. Disagree with each other. Have arguments in character all you want. Don't kill or attack other players. Don't steal their stuff.
Aw. But geodes.
What geodes?
I don't know.
Will
there be geodes?
Were you already expecting to have like geode wars between characters?
Can I have a rock collection?
You see, this is why I was getting mad at you, because now you're bringing up geodes for no reason.
No. Archaeology. Ground, dirt, rocks, geodes. See? Follow me on this journey, Mel.
That's not a journey! That's a bunch of words you just said!
No.
What does archaeology have to do with geology?
It's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but it's 6 degrees of geodes!
No, it's not!
Can I bring up a player DM character behavior about Elizabeth and Mal petty bickering all the time?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm just making a joke.
It's okay. I understand. I've been a little shit all day, so it's fine.
Yes.
It's Gremlin Elizabeth.
Yeah. Less flying off the handle.
Maybe I shouldn't have had caffeine.
How am I bullying anyone? How do you figure I'm bullying? Oh my god, this is so unfair.
I didn't do it.
Jeez.
Mal isn't bullying any of us. He's trying to be a good DM and organize a game by working hard. And he has to put up with the likes of us as players.
Oh, congrats, Licky.
You know what?
I was just joking. I was just joking.
It's okay.
Goodbye forever.
Oh.
Did you make? Oh no.
Oh,
Mal's gone.
Mal.
Mal.
He's not really gone because the stream hasn't cut off. So Mal,
Mal.
come back, please. Please. Come
We
back.
love
Are you
you.
going to behave?
I've always been behaving, but I'll behave extra more if you come back, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
You did okay.
That was fun. I should play with this more often while I'm.
Mm. Mal has become incorporeal.
Sorry, I had to go get snacks. Oh, I'm back now.
Oh. You legitimately actually got up and left? Oh, man.
No. I'm joking.
Okay.
I was just playing with my. See, I'm gonna go. Bonk.
Mal's walking over here. Giving me headbutts. Chin butts, more like, I guess. I don't know. Okay.
Oh, Flora.
Yeah,
Why did you get on the elevator? Goodbye, Flora.
Bye.
No.
Did Flora go back to your home planet?
No, she
No,
took
no,
the
no,
elevator
no.
down, apparently.
Oh.
Oh man, I'm remembering. Wasn't there that part in the Austin Powers, which is probably dating me, that I remember
Yeah.
that movie where it's like, I'll take the
Yeah.
elevator, and that's like, no wait, I will take the escalator. No wait, I will take the stairs. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right, I'll stop fooling around with OBS now.
What? OBS? I don't know what you're talking about. We're in this space where there's a giant whiteboard behind us.
Yes. Okay, so other rules type things. Dispute resolution. We don't tend to argue about rules,
No.
but I'm going to try to do a bit more of like, here's my ruling now, and I'll research it later rather than flipping through a book live. I know I'm really bad for that. Just like fucking stopping game to look something up in a rule book.
No
And
grapple checks.
I will try to improve. No grapple checks, period?
Well, no, I don't mean it that way. I just know like you talked about game being stopped dead because someone had to look something up, and I find that for at least in my recent recollection, it tends to be grapple checks. That it's like, okay, game stops dead, go look up what the grapple rules are.
Yeah, grappling.
That
Nobody
type of
ever
stuff.
knows what the grapple rules are.
No one sits there with like an encyclopedic knowledge of grapple checks in their head. At least that I've encountered. I'm sure that person exists.
The only RPG that I've ever played that actually does grappling in a decent and interesting way is... Okay, there's literally this really, really old wrestling RPG.
There's a wrestling RPG?
There's several wrestling RPGs.
Wow.
But one of the things that this old wrestling RPG does is, there's a whole bunch of neat stuff that it does. Like you can have your character star in commercials, and that like getting promotions and shit is actually a part of the game. And then you have to act out the commercial in front of everybody else.
Hey.
And like cutting promos and stuff is also a part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually has, like, because it assumes that all that you're doing is grappling unless you're just hitting somebody, the grappling is just something that occurs, that you just say, oh, I grab my opponent, and then you resolve whatever you're doing. And yeah, it's pretty great. Also, you can run for like a Senate seat while you're being a wrestler. It's crazy.
Like, I think on the other hand, it's like you think that like, oh, that's funny, but like, there's been several wrestlers who have run for office, haven't there? Like at least I think at least one offhand is Jesse Ventura, but
Anyway, moving right along. Alignment.
I'm guessing you prefer us not to be evil.
I honestly don't care about alignment. I think I don't like labeling people wholesale as good or evil.
Fair enough.
In general. But if alignment is like part of the D&D experience that you want to make sure that we have, I can make a bigger deal out of it.
I find, at least for me, because I cut my RPG teeth on World of Darkness, which uses very little in the ways of an alignment system, I find that's one of the hardest things to grasp my head around when I started playing D&D was the alignment system, because it's just like,
Well, instead of alignment,
yeah.
they have humanity or whatever.
Yeah, there's humanity and there's like the virtue and vice. So I'm not saying there isn't any metric of it, but it's not like your humanity can decrease in World of Darkness, but it's not like, oh, you acted against your alignment and now you're chaotic evil. It's more a case of just like, yeah, you stabbed this guy and you're feeling really guilty about it and your humanity's gone down because you committed violence. So, but you're still, you're still you. Go on and have the rest of your day. Bye. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Don't go stabbing people.
Stab people.
Don't do it.
Stab people, you said?
No, I said don't.
Okay.
All I heard was stab people.
Uh-oh.
I'm teasing. I heard.
That's okay. Sorry.
Okay. So stealth and perception is usually a thing. Again, if you're searching or doing like surprise perception checks or whatever, my preference is to have just the person who's best at perception be rolling it. Rather than, because like if the whole party rolls it, somebody's going to get, high enough to pass. So it's not as interesting. It's kind of like, why are we rolling dice if somebody's guaranteed not to fail? Or almost guaranteed not to fail. Same with stealth, just having the best person roll it, assuming that you're, like, if you're sneaking around as a group, that they're going, like, don't step on that, don't hide there, follow me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Inspiration, I feel that we already covered it. Do you guys want to start every session with one inspiration?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's fine by me. I found I wasn't really using inspiration last time. I think I kept forgetting it existed.
Well.
I'm sure that's partially a me problem. I'm not blaming you. I'm also bad for remembering to use like willpower or any other trait that from an RPG that allows you to get one-time bonuses.
Yeah. Well, just remember that my personal house rule for inspiration is that you can either spend it ahead of time to roll to get advantage on whatever you're rolling. You roll 2 dice and you pick the highest, or you can re-roll something after the fact, but you have to live with whatever you roll. Right?
Okay.
And then the critical hit rule that we were using for the Journeys Through the Multiverse, I feel that we never really made use of it, so I'm tempted to just say forget it.
It's a little less exciting if you like get a crit and then you're like and then you don't use it.
Yeah,
I found.
We weren't banking them. We were just using them. So yeah,
we were just using them.
Okay. Well, that's the end of everything that I wanted to cover with our session 0. Is there anything else at all that people want to bring up?
Are we going to do character creation privately, or because I know I need.
Well, you don't
to
have
tune
to
up.
do shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're done.
Your guy's already level 4.
Yeah.
Like literally, you just have to delete a couple magic items from your sheet.
Yeah, you don't even have to worry about rolling new stats. You're done.
Yeah.
All right.
If you're just reusing Helios, that's totally fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as long as
I think I'm gonna make a new character just because I don't know. I don't like generally recycling characters.
I got an idea for one, so I figure I may as well run with it.
Yeah. Unless I can't think of something else, but
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Besides, I can't bear for Wander to be parted from that basilisk egg.
Yeah, we never got around to the basilisk egg.
That's okay. In my mind, she has a beautiful baby basilisk.
Aww.
And Nemia just loves it.
Yeah,
I was actually gonna have the basilisk be like super affectionate towards Nemia specifically.
I love it.
Anyways,
I think that's great, but she hates it.
I would request though, like certainly go ahead if you like to make a new character. But if you do happen to finish the art of Nemi, I would really like to see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll second that one.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. It's just that the way that I planned Journeys Through the Multiverse really wasn't working out. So
No, I get it.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's a learning experience doing it on stream. I think
Yeah.
I think
we definitely have to approach it differently than the way we do it like in our, personal games. It's
Yeah, I
it's
think
not quite the same.
I think we were a bit spoiled going into this with our experience with our Thursday night gaming group because like we I think I mentioned before we've been running it for so long, like I think we've definitely passed the 10-year mark. So like for us it was like, oh well, having a long running game, that's so easy, that's not a problem. We generally don't have scheduling conflicts and it's fine. But I think the thing that we kind of forgot is that like we were able to kind of have a group that were able to kind of like, and I'm not saying that like I find with weekends there's always a little bit more of a challenge arranging schedules, just because for a lot of people weekends is their time to get caught up on stuff or meet these social obligations, where like with our kind of our private game, which is on Thursdays, hence why we don't generally stream on that day. Like that day is almost like a religious day for us in some respects, because like we put into our respective work schedules, don't book me Thursday, like we like, and like it's one of those things where it's very almost treated sacredly by us, whereas we don't necessarily have that luxury.
Time.
This is our precious tabletop time. You cannot have it. I'm going to Church of D&D now. Please no disturb.
We needs it, precious.
Laura,
Yeah.
are you okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Laura,
I'm fine. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
you okay?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Sasha?
Hi, Flora.
Hi. I'm okay.
Hi.
Now
Is
I feel
everyone
like
else
Hello.
okay?
now I feel
I'm
like I'm
okay.
getting made fun of.
Mal, are you okay?
No.
Sasha, are you okay?
Yeah.
No,
Elizabeth, are you okay?
I played Final Fantasy during your
Elizabeth?
campaign last Thursday, and now I feel super, super bad.
It's okay. No, it's okay. You
Gaming
don't have.
sins.
It's fine. I know you were playing Final Fantasy. I can see it. Discord tells me.
Yes, I know. You can't hide it.
I mean, you can. You just have to turn your activity off. But
Mal chose not to.
when Mal's suddenly not displaying activity, I'll know it's because he's trying to hide that he's playing Final Fantasy. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not upset. It's fine.
Okay.
All right. Bye,
See you
Licky
later.
Glock. Have a great rest of your day and happy birthday. Bye.
I'll miss you.
See you later, Licky Glock. Happy
Oh.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hi, Licky Glock. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Happy birthday
you.
Listen.
to
Happy
you.
birthday,
Happy
dear
birthday.
Licky.
Listen,
Happy birthday to you.
Sahime, we are here to discuss our upcoming D&D campaign reboot. We are not here to discuss my sleep schedule and how I may or may not be ruining my health, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
There may be an ongoing like conversation like in the morning where like I check in with Mal and I'm like, so what time did you go to bed? And he's like, it was before 4, and I'm like, that's not answering my question.
Okay, we're not here to bully Mel about his sleep schedule
No.
or his whatevers.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about D&D.
So
Oh, there's another kitty doodle. Yay, kitty.
The thing is, I'm not opposed, like say for instance, because like I have friends and things like that who have like sleep schedules that either because they work night shifts or they have a school schedule or something where it is more conducive to maybe like sleep from like 4 till noon and then they go about their business for the day. I don't necessarily have an issue with that. The thing is that generally speaking, Mal's schedule is such that he usually wants to be up around 9 in the morning or thereabouts. So that's why I take issue with his sleep schedule being like where it is. Like if he was like, if Mal came to me and said, it's like, you know what, I'm going to sleep from 4 to 12 and like I'm going to treat like the afternoon, quote unquote, as my morning and the evening as my afternoon, and then, you know, whatever. Okay, as long he's getting good sleep, and I'm fine with that. It's more the go to bed at 4, wake up at 9, and then like the inevitable crash at like 3 p.m. because Mal's trying to operate on like 4 hours sleep.
Listen, don't be doing it.
It's okay. I'm just saying, like,
You don't have to share. You don't have to share these details about my life with the entire universe.
I respect the night owls.
You know, maybe I wouldn't stay up so late if certain people who shall remain nameless weren't such a gremlin to me on a regular basis that I have to stay up late just to be unbothered by them.
Maybe the gremlins wouldn't bother you if you looked after yourself better.
No, that's a lie. You know that's a lie. I'm challenging you on your X to doubt.
Anyway.
I refute this.
Anyway. Are there any other parts of of your planned campaign, Mal, that you would like to discuss with us or get opinion?
I think I have a pretty good idea of what we're doing. If you want to say, shout out any other ideas of stuff that you'd like to see happen or things that you think would be cool to do. Like, obviously, I have a ton of space for notes.
Oh yeah, because like for your last campaign, you kind of had like I don't want to say like a goal for the campaign, but like you were like, if there's a certain type of like, I don't want to say a moment or anything, but like I know, like say for instance, there was Flora proposed from the last campaign, like you know the opportunity to like redeem a villain or like redeem a good boy, and that was kind of like a bit like played a bit with Pyros or what have you. So like, is that something you'd like to do again? You guys
were like, no, kill Pyros. Fuck this guy.
Well, okay, well, you know what I mean.
Oh, he betrayed me, so fuck him.
Yeah. He's a good boy as long as he wasn't betraying us, so oops.
Yeah. I gave him an opportunity to be a good boy and he didn't take it, so.
Alright.
He died.
And then we took his bow.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean Helios.
Hi.
Hi.
Now, something to keep in mind about this game is that because of the format that we're doing it, we have to finish quests in one session.
One session, yeah.
Which might mean that we might end up going later than usual for...
just to wrap things up, yeah.
Yeah.
And also because you said there would also be the quote-unquote base building phase where we have to like either roll out or whatever mechanic will be in place for like build in or whatever. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Everyone has gone quiet.
Yeah, well, I'm looking up world building, brainstorming kind of.
Oh, okay. Just to see if there's anything else you want.
Questions, inspiration points, that sort of things.
Should we maybe brainstorm a bit about the place that we mutually all come from, respectively?
Sure.
Because I mean, like to some degree, it won't be. It'll inform a little bit of this setting, but we're also like for one reason or other, all our characters have chosen to leave this place. So like, you know, kind of like, I don't know. That.
That.
If I could stick out my tongue, I would stick out my tongue, but I can't.
Well, okay, so you brought up this thing, like, let's do it.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. I didn't necessarily have an idea off the top of my head. Okay, well, maybe, you know, like, what is the reason that this country wants to explore this new land? Is it, like, purely we want to do an explore, or is it a case of we need resources because we have mined everything to exhaustion, or we're in a war and we're running out of stuff, or what
Or we just like to explore.
yeah, or we just won't explore, or
Mhm.
So the idea I had was that it's a multilateral operation.
okay.
And so there are at least 4 countries involved, and they each
Ooh.
send one ship with the idea of it being cooperative. But with the politics and faction things
Mm-hmm.
in play, obviously it's not going to be nearly as cooperative as it looks on the surface.
There was a nice ceremony where everyone shook hands, but then like had like a dagger behind their back where they're like, "I'm gonna screw you the first
that, like,
opportunity I get."
You guys make landfall and you start being, doing your stuff, and all of a sudden the countries are like, "Hey, by the way,
I want this really nice hill. Put me on the really nice hill.
or not even necessarily that, but they all have their own agendas and things that they're doing."
Gotcha. So, do you have any thoughts on what these 4 countries are like? Like,
Yeah.
are they meant to be analogs of perhaps Europe, for example, or are they going to be analogs of
like, obviously the whole thing it's going to be an analog for Europe.
Mhm.
But I don't mind having doing the whole, oh, the society is like ancient Egypt, or the society is like feudal Japan, or the society is like Renaissance Italy.
for
Doing
just a
that
shorthand.
sort of thing. Yeah, it's just a shorthand. I would prefer to make it keep it out of the realm of caricature.
Society.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Mm.
Society. We live in a society.
We have one of those. We have 4 of
Oh
those.
my god. We got 4 whole one of those. And I mean, obviously there's probably more than those 4. It's just these are the 4 that agreed to cooperate for whatever reason for this operation. Okay. Would
Do you have?
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, I was gonna say, do you have any uh information about any of these countries, or is that still percolating?
It's still percolating. Also, like I said, I want to be able to keep a certain level of not agility. What's the word?
Flexibility.
Flexibility so that way I can work in things for people's backgrounds.
Okay.
Would it? I mean, I don't want to dictate what anyone else wants to do, but would it kind of make sense? Like, would we be from some sort of neutral, sponsoring faction that's not part of we may be from one of these 4 nations, or we may be travelers who went to one of these 4 nations, but I'm assuming the idea is that we're supposed to be kind of I don't want to say above the nations, but there's there's quote unquote a 5th group that's we're here to do the exploration. We are trying to be, I don't want to say apolitical, but we're not necessarily bothered by this country's concern to put flags everywhere.
In the interests of reducing PvP, I would prefer that you guys aren't agents of nations until you decide as a group to favor one faction or another.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So being oh, I'm actually a spy for King so-and-so. Prefer to avoid that to begin with. There will be NPCs like that.
Yeah, but leave it to the NPC level is what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. I think with the Arcanist idea Artificer. Arcanist is from Final Fantasy XIV, everyone. With the Artificer idea, I would say, I'm kind of leaning more towards a person who wanted this for the challenge, where it's I'm going to a place where I'm not going to have all the comforts of my lab or comforts of what I'm used to. I have to MacGyver this crap with whatever I can find over there or whatever I can pack and bring on a boat. And how awesome am I when I pull this shit off?
Can I stick a pin in this for a second?
Yeah, sure.
I've drank a lot of coffee.
Oh, no. Okay,
so
yes, go.
I'm gonna. Guys, why don't you guys discuss this without me being here to trouble you? And I will be back to collate your notes in a bit.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Don't sniff anyone's hair. He's already gone.
He's already gone. I don't think he's positioned himself in such a way that he can,
Yeah.
because Sasha is behind him.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Good for him. Okay.
Oh, he went to AFK.
Yep. He'll be right back though. We are just. I think what we were just talking about was a little bit, I guess, in terms of like potential character
Mhm.
backgrounds. Mal mentioned that there'd be kind of like 4 sponsoring nations, and then I guess there'll be kind of like a 5th, like over. I for lack of a better term, I'm thinking like a UN type faction,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
United Nations.
I
where it's like,
understand what you're
yeah,
getting at.
yeah,
Like
where
a
it's like,
supervisory.
yeah, to keep the 4 nations in some sort of like, okay, you 2 stop fighting, get to your corners type of thing.
Yeah. No fighting.
No fighting.
Mhm.
We're here for the high-minded exploration.
Mhm.
But Brain, come on, we can do
You can
this.
do it.
We
I
can do
believe in
it.
you.
I believe in you.
I don't believe in me. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of an echo, so I keep getting distracted. So yeah, I guess we were just talking a bit about like Mal has requested that we aren't yeah, like he's requested that us as player characters aren't necessarily with those weird, like, I don't want to say like, I guess like spy, or I don't want to say ulterior motives, because I think to some
Yeah.
degree everyone's got their own motives, but like
He doesn't
a
want us
motive,
to be like,
a secret
oh,
agent of the king of
I'm
the
a
nation.
secret agent of whoever, I'm here to cause problems on purpose
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
situation, which is fine.
yep. So I guess kind of the idea of a like, I kind of like the idea of each of us being from like different backgrounds, like in terms of like,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if it works out that we all happen to be from the same country, I'm not going to say don't, but I kind of like the idea of each of us coming from a different
Yeah,
source
yeah.
nation, because that way we can kind of also like,
We
I don't
all
want to say
come together.
there's that too, but you also kind of like you have a little bit of agency over like what your nation's background is like. Where if like, if
Yeah.
I say, oh, my nation, we all have tea at 4:00 on Tuesdays, you guys will be like, no, that's not a thing that happens. It's like, no, this is my nation.
We have
I
tea
say
at 3
we
o'clock
we have
on
tea at
Wednesday.
4.
Yeah.
There'll be 4 p.m. tea with scones, god damn it. Or yeah, like if you maybe want to come from a nation that maybe has a certain cultural aspect, like perhaps slavery or things like that, that you maybe have a particular stance on. Hopefully that there won't be too much slavery, but I can understand it, because I know, like, say for instance, I know one of our friends likes, I don't want to say likes to see the inclusion of it, but they like the idea of having it there to overthrow, if that
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. They're like, I want to be here as a goal for me of something to crush, which
Yeah.
is which is not necessarily something like, that's cool too. Overthrow the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Or not patriarchy, whatever.
Overthrow something.
Overthrow something just for shenanigans.
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
I think the idea of like, if we're each from a different one of these nations, and then we each have an opportunity to kind of be like, oh, shape it a little bit.
No, we shouldn't overthrow the DM.
Yeah.
That's just complete anarchy at that point. Like,
Yeah,
it's like you don't
we're
have
not
a
going to
framework to
overthrow
operate
Mal.
in.
He'd be very upset.
Yes. Also, it would just be what am I trying to say? With I don't really know how we would function as a player group if it wasn't like, it would just end up being like weird free
If we have no
form.
supervision,
Yeah,
Elizabeth's just going to run wild.
it's true.
Oh, we can each design a flag. Oh, that's
Ooh,
right,
a
Elizabeth.
flag! Oh, I like that. Oh, I really like that. That was something I
Sasha's flag
really
is just going to have
enjoyed.
cats on it.
It's true.
Oh,
That's
it's
okay though.
cats.
Because that was one thing I did like about the Song of Ice and Fire when we were
Yeah.
creating the house for the game that we played. I really did like the creation of like I really like that silver fox banner that we had. That was a really nice.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Mhm.
I hear the sounds of Mal returning.
Mal, you
I'm
left
back.
left your headphones in a place that created an echo.
Oh, I'm sorry. They were literally lying on the floor.
Maybe just go on mute when you leave.
Shut up.
Shh. Okay, I'm sorry. I have ideas and thoughts and feelings. I'll work on that.
Well, do you?
No, not really.
That was mean.
But yeah, anyways, welcome back, Mal. Thank you for
Well, I
returning.
meant like to segue into you telling me about all the great ideas for countries that you had while I was gone.
Well, we did kind of come up with we got a couple ideas for from chat, and in terms of our, like, we were each kind of agreeing that we would each come from a different nation, so that way we each kind of get a bit of a nation where we kind of like get to be in charge of the lore of that nation, I guess.
Okay.
Where like, although I kind of like the idea of like, well, we kind of like control our quote unquote positive lore. Like, I like maybe the idea, and this is my first time I'm throwing it out. The bad stereotypes of our nation is up to the other player characters or to the chat. So like, say for instance, I'm like, oh, my culture is so liberal and high-minded, and we have this, you know, like we are elevated philosophically, and they're like, yeah, but they have but like Flora could be like, oh, but this country has a reputation of being a bunch of shitty know-it-alls that won't shut up and keep trying to, like, you know, take over other nations because they think they're right in everything. Just a thought. I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it that way.
Well, I'd like to keep prejudice about player characters to a minimum.
Oh, that's fair. That's a good point. Oh, there was also Alosin threw out the idea that if we each come from our own nation, we can kind of like make our own banners that represent the quote unquote country we came from, even if we aren't strongly associated with our country, like being able to be like, you know, this country's banner is a green field with 3 chevrons or something.
Sure. That's
Flags.
totally fine.
Flags. And
I
we
come
can make
from the Chevron Nation.
so many chevrons, you won't fucking believe it.
Well,
Yeah.
as long as you don't come from Ford Nation.
No.
Nope, none of that.
Uh-huh.
That won't make sense unless you live in Ontario. But okie dokie. Anyways,
Muffin.
so yeah. Oh, that'd be really cute though. Like if we were able to, like, when we're streaming the game, if we could get like some little like banners commissioned or something that we can kind of like hang from the ceiling of the lounge, that we can be like, look, there's our banners. Oh, and we could come up with a new banner for the new one for Fort Awesome. I'm assuming Fort Awesome won't be the final name of our new
It's a working
home,
title.
but
For
Now,
now.
Fort
I
Awesome.
do want to incorporate a lot more visual elements.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that sounds great.
Mhm. So
in,
many ideas.
In general, make the game a lot more visual because...
Fort Kick-Ass! Oh my god! I know that's a reference from Archer. Great, good job.
Yeah.
Your authority is not recognized in Fort Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
It was boxes. Fort Kick-Ass was boxes. I'm sorry.
Anyway. But yeah, like, so the other thing that I really want to get going is to finally figure out fucking Foundry. And that way we can do, like, if nothing else, we can do die rolling through Foundry and have the graphical dice on screen.
Yeah, because I know that's the big thing, is like there's like this pause where it's like we roll the dice and then there's like this moment of like, well, sometimes that can be interesting, but like there's something lost when the chat can't see, oh shit, she just rolled a 1, or oh, she rolled a 20, or
well, there was one time, I forget if I was watching a stream where somebody else rated into it, or if we rated, one of us rated into it at some point, but I remember at some point I was rated into a channel where somebody was playing an RPG based on Persona 5.
Yeah.
And just their setup was incredible. And it really made me go, we need to fucking up our D&D game. Like, really bad.
No, that's fair.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, unless there's anything else that you guys have ideas for right at this moment, or any topics you want to discuss, I think I'm going to call it.
I would like to pick your brain a little bit. Well, you know, like kind of like we're all here and things are kind of percolating. In terms of if you have any suggested species for an artificer, because I know I could just play a human or whatever, but I have to role play as a human the majority of my time. So
Humans are
I
boring.
humans boring. I would so if you've maybe got any fun suggestions or things like because I know like certain I don't want to necessarily like pick like a race that's or sorry species that's like inclined to um artificer but I also don't want to like be like I picked this one and it's like their bonus dice are like strength and constitution and it's like you're not it's I don't say completely incompatible but like there's um I think you know where I'm going. Just I would appreciate your thoughts.
Okay, so I would encourage you to pick a race based on what you want to role play. I'm not going to do the optional role where you can just pick whatever race and then put its bonus in whatever stat you want.
That's fair.
Just because, like, I feel that takes away some of what makes the different species special.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But at the same time, like, don't worry. Like, technically it's a bounded difficulty system, and to be the most efficient or most effective as possible, you want to make sure that your stats are as high as possible because there is a point at which your stats can't get any higher.
Yeah. I guess all I mean to say is
like,
you have
don't worry about that at all because like we can work within those structures.
Yeah. I guess all I mean to say is like you have access to more materials, and I know to some degree I can get these materials myself if I do enough digging around in the internet or what have you. But like I guess what I mean to say is like you've GM'd for us for a lot over these years. You have a general idea of where my brain will take me when I'm thinking about character creation. So if you have anything that you're like, hey, maybe I would think, this I think this race or sorry species might really jive with you. Give it a good look. I guess I would appreciate that kind of like suggestions if that makes sense.
I know how important aesthetic is to you, and nothing really comes to my mind right away other than like tieflings and Asimar, which you've already mentioned an interest in.
Yeah, I guess the only reason I'm avoiding tiefling, I would say, is because Nemia was a tiefling, and I kind of like want to give space to explore lots of things, not just the same
Well,
thing
you can be
15
a
times.
tiefling if you want. I don't care.
No, I know. I don't.
I'm probably gonna make a new character anyway. So
no, that's
another thing is that I totally don't mind if you want to run multiple characters and swap between them, because that'll also work under this system. And,
I guess a question I had, or just a comment, since Sasha's gonna be playing Helios again, so we'll have a fighter, and then you're going artificer. So whatever I decide to play, I'm sure we'll have NPCs or whatever to pick up for whatever
also,
areas we're lacking.
I want to have as much as possible a 4-person party, so expect us to have lots of guests dropping in and out here and there.
Okay.
So
that too, yeah.
Having less is never going to make me not run the game, because that's part of why we're doing all this.
Yeah.
This reboot, but
I guess I don't want to put myself in a position or anybody in a position where it's like you're limited to these class options because that's the role we need to fill.
Yeah. And like I was saying, I went harder on you guys with Journeys Through the Multiverse because I thought that you had a really good party and that you guys could take it, and it turns out you did. But if you have a less effective party where, for example, your only source of healing is the Artificer's healing word.
Oh, I get spells as an Artificer?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're not,
is it the idea? Okay.
Yeah, it's the idea is that you have some gizmo or whatever that's channeling your magical energy instead. So you do have a small spell list.
Oh no. Oh man, I'm getting so many Atelier like series ideas right now. Oh my god. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Be an atelier.
Maybe I will end up playing a human then, because they're generally speaking, most of the protagonists of the Atelier series have been human.
Yeah, you
I'll
can never go
I'll
wrong
sit
with
on
the
that.
human. My personal D&D thing with species is to I'm a human unless I have a good reason not to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I need the feat, I'm a human. If I don't need the feat that comes with being a human, I'm something else. And then I'll pick that something else based on whatever.
Okay. I'll think on it, but like, yeah, this kind of
Yeah.
like now that my brain's like remembered the Atelier series exists, my brain's kind of like sees.
Magical girl artificer.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's totally a thing that you could do. There's a kind of artificer that involves like putting yourself in a special suit of armor, and if you want to say that, oh no, it's my magical girl outfit, that's totally fine by me.
No. I mean, the Atelier protagonists are not magical girls, but they are very much alchemists. But
Yeah.
they are, they're just
It has a
adorable as heck
magical girl
too.
vibe.
Yep.
It does, but they aren't using suits or magical costumes generally. It's all done through, I have made this potion or I've made this bomb through alchemy, and I just yeet the bomb right in the
Well,
face.
I recall you have the Eberron Player's Guide with you that has
Yes.
the artificer rules in it.
Okay, yeah, so I can take a look at it, yeah.
Borrow my copy of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, which has the same rules with, I think, 1 or 2 extra archetype options.
Okay.
So, like, I have the full artificer rules if you want to see them, but you also have most of the artificer stuff with you right now. Because of the book that we bought for you to play that specific species.
Warforged. Yeah, because I bought it to play the Warforged, yeah.
Yeah.
I just have to pick all the spicy options, don't I? I just can't use the player's handbook like a normal D&D player. I have to be like, I want this other book.
Yeah, totally feel it. One of you decides that you want to be a blood hunter and do the whole Witcher thing, totally fine by me. And then the other starting class is Mystic. What's Mystic? Which is Unearthed Arcana, which is all playtest material that's released for free. But the whole thing about Mystics... Mystics, followers of a strange and mysterious form of power. Mystics shun the world to turn their eyes inward, mastering the full potential of their minds and exploring their psyches before turning to face the world. Mystics are incredibly rare. Most prefer to keep the nature of their abilities secret. Using their inner psychic strength, they can read minds, fade into invisibility, transform their bodies into living iron, and seize control of the physical world and bend it to their will. So they're kind of like a fantasy-themed psychic.
Oh, neat.
I mean, I'm at least for me, I want more artificer. I want potion making and making tech.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, Sahime is revolting and saying that Mystic is not allowed.
Yeah, no mystics.
No mystics?
Thank me for your headache. Oh.
Yeah, okay. Don't tell me what to do. I do what I want.
This is also true. Because the thing is you have to learn, Sahime, is that if you tell Mal not to do something, he may just do it, just to
That's true.
prove to you that it can be done in an engaging way.
My instinct whenever somebody tells me not to do something is to always do it anyway.
Yeah, I know. I've got a bit of that too, where it's like, no, you can't go out on Thursday, and it's like, but what if I did? What if I did?
It's my inner anarchist where I'm always like, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah. Oh, checkmate, Mal.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna have a nap right now.
Oh.
You can't have a nap right now. We're streaming.
But yeah, so yeah, I guess that's my thing is, yeah, I'll take a look at it, but yeah, I do seem to really be liking the idea of like an atelier Elizabeth
Italian
vibe.
themed.
Yeah, you know you're not helping me get to sleep here.
I'm sorry.
We're supposed to be streaming, not sleeping.
Yeah, you
Okay,
sleep
okay,
later.
okay. All right.
I mean, if you want a nap, you can have a nap. I'm not gonna knock you for it. Just not while we're live, please. Anyways, anything you wanted to like brainstorming that you're kind of wanting to do, either Sasha or Flora?
I have no idea
Okay.
what kind of a character I have to play. I'll have to, I don't know, flip through the book and look for some inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll let you know when I figure it
Yeah.
out.
I guess
Yeah.
Mal. So fighter and then artificer, like I'm not saying like Flora needs to pick her class or anything based on this, like go with whatever kind of speaks to you, but like is there like a gap that you're kind of seeing that's kind of naturally forming through these classes? Like either like these are two combat based class and you've got no support, or you've got a controller and a damage dealer. Maybe look at, I forget what the other third thing is in D&D, but you know what I mean. Like,
Well, in terms of class roles, there's a ton of different things because there are dimensions to role playing games that generally don't exist in video games.
yeah, it's very true. Yeah.
So, like, you want to make sure generally that you have a face, that you have a leader,
Mm.
that you have tanks, that you have because like in D&D, especially 5th edition, everybody's DPS, right? There's
Yeah.
no class that doesn't I don't want to say revolve around, but doesn't have an effective way to deal damage in some way.
That's true.
Mhm.
That's very true.
Unless
Flora's bard was
you're going like seriously hardcore utility wizard. And
or like what was that, like the it's mentioning another channel here, but there was the guy who made an intentionally terrible build. What was it? Absurd?
oh yeah, Puffin Forest and how he made the character
you.
who had one level in every class.
Yeah, and then like his stats were like
Oh my god.
lower than average. Like he didn't like there wasn't a 20 in strength or anything like that. Like it was like he lowballed everything.
And he actually made a black background where his character was just so annoying that he kept joining all these different groups and getting kicked out.
Oh no.
So that's what that was to explain, because it was one thing. I think he went to the GM and was like, this is the character I want. And he's like, if you can find a way to justify this in your background, I will allow it. And I think the GM expected him to come back and say, oh, I failed, I couldn't do it, but like here's the compromise build. But no, he set his mind to it and he figured out a way to get all these classes in his background and how each guild like threw him out one after another. Or like even like ones that are like, because like say for instance, like some of them like are like inherent, like I think warlock or sorcerer, like you have to make a pact, and then like that pacted demon was like, I am so sick of your shit, and you get out.
Yeah, and he ended up with like so many spells that he could cast, but they were all first level.
Yeah.
And this was
Like a completely unviable build.
Yeah, it was the thing where like I forget what it is, but there's like 12 playable classes in the core rulebook, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, we're starting a new campaign. Everybody's starting at, level 12." And so he got this terrible, terrible idea.
Terrible or brilliant?
I mean, it's a little bit of both.
I don't know how you make that character work.
I don't think you do. I think that's
it's
the point.
supposed to. I think that was the point, is that it does not work. Because I think that was part of his challenge to himself, was he was talking about the ideas that, generally speaking, in D&D, it's not impossible to build a bad character, but generally speaking, the system really gently steers you away from it in terms of everything is somewhat viable as you level up. Like it's very difficult to basically make a character that you're like, you get to level, a high level and you're like, this character's unplayable because I built it badly. And I think he kind of like took it upon himself to be like, no, I'm going to build the shit character that is not viable, that in most campaign settings would basically be a death. Like this character is going to die. Anyways. So by the way, maybe consider checking out Puffin Forest if you haven't. Now that we've done this big shameless advertisement for it.
Yeah. No, I'll take a look at
Yeah.
take a flip through the book, see if I come up with any ideas.
Percolate.
Had to make a lot of D&D characters lately.
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
And I haven't made
our-
it. It's like I haven't played D&D in so long, and then suddenly it's like, oh god, I've got D&D characters coming out of my ass.
Yeah,
You're on your third D&D character of the year.
Yeah, because we recently started on our Sacred Thursday game. I'm playing a Genasi Barbarian. I had to make that pretty quickly, not too long ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mal's playing a human, I believe, in that game. He's not the GM of that campaign.
No. Yeah, I've only made 2 this year.
Yeah, it's because you were GM for one of the games, so they got you. Well, you were
Two
doing
of the games.
other heavy. You were doing other heavy
Yeah.
lifting because you're GM. So no disrespect
so
there.
I had a paladin. I had a paladin and a rogue. Or was that other campaign early enough? Or
Oh, you did
started late
the
enough?
Emerald Storytellers game as well.
Oh
you
yeah,
were
yeah. The sorcerer Torbalon.
Yeah, he was great. I loved him.
Torbalon.
He's a good boy.
Believe me, the second I get a chance to play in somebody else's D&D game on this channel, Torbalon's coming back
Yay!
Yay.
Yay!
because he's great.
Well, I mean, based
He's
on the
great.
nature of like the way you want to run this game, I mean, we could always have a time where it's like, oh, maybe Mal wants to play a character, so somebody could run an adventure for a week,
Yeah, 1,000%. I'd want to work with whoever's running the thing to make sure that everything
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But I mean, like,
shares a tone and works together.
yeah.
Yeah,
But if
like-
somebody came up with an idea for it's like, oh, I want to go and do this thing, I think that would be cool.
Mhm.
Can we work that in? Like,
MCU
there's
this shit.
opportunity to do that. I feel like.
Yeah,
in a situation like this.
MCU this shit.
And then you
make
could
sure
bring
that
in
just make sure
Torbalon.
that just gotta remember
Cool.
Mal is also Kevin Feige in this
Oh, yeah.
scenario. So you have to confirm with him before you do anything too crazy.
That's true.
Okay. Oh man, you guys are so great.
Oh, I thank you. You're wonderful too,
Aw.
Mal.
Yeah.
I do my best.
It's kind of funny, like if you like rewind like an hour ago, we're like sniping at each other, and now we're here. I love you. I love you too.
Well, like, and it's not really serious,
I know. Well, I think it's also like
my thing is like if I found somebody annoying, I would just stop speaking to them.
Yeah.
And just go away. Like I have to deal with enough shitty people through work that I have no time for anyone else. So
Yeah. Well, I think also like to some degree, like I think that there's the double-edged sword of like because we've been friends for a very long time is that obviously we know each other very well, but we also know how to poke each other very, very well.
mm.
Like I generally know like if I want to bother Mal, this is what all I have to do is this, and congratulations, Mal is mad.
Well, funny you should bring that up.
Uh-oh.
No, I've alluded to it before, but I realized a couple months ago that Flora is actually my oldest friend that I'm still friends with.
Aw.
Aw.
Because we met in high school
Back in the day.
way back.
my
in the
God.
day.
You're also one of my oldest friends.
Yeah.
I still have.
I know there are people that you still hang out with that you've known for even longer, but
A little bit longer, yeah, but
Yeah.
still, it's still pretty far back.
yeah, we go way back.
Yeah.
And even
The ancient times.
even Sasha, we're coming on 10 years now?
Pretty sure.
Gotta
Yeah.
be. Gotta be.
Yeah. Has to be, yeah.
Sasha, the latest edition of 10 years ago.
No, it's like, hey there, newbie. I've been here for 10 years. Hey there, newbie. Finger gun.
Oh no, wait, it's more than 10 years because the job that I'm working at now, I was doing that solo. I was doing that and not having another job for 8 years, and I know I met Sasha when another friend brought her to my workplace at my last job
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah,
meet
okay.
her for the first time. So Like, yeah, it's got to be 8 years at least.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And then my boss walked in and were like, "Why are your friends hanging out here?" And I was like, "I didn't invite them.
They just showed up.
They just showed
Yeah, we
up.
just-
We're
we just
hanging
came
out."
to bother you.
They are customers in this fine establishment. Here, I will buy a Toblerone.
But like that whole time while I was working for those people, it was always like I was one of their best employees. I always got my work done. But then they'd show up and be like, "Why aren't you doing it the way that I want you to do it?" And I'm like, "Just fucking relax. Have I let you down so far?"
I remember one time you called me because you were really, really like, you were like, "I have to go to work." And I'm like, "You sound awful." And you're like, "I don't feel very good. I think I threw up not long ago." But my like you were commenting that things were feeling a bit hazy, and I'm like, "It sounds like you need to stay home. It sounds like you need to call in." And I'm like, "Well, just call in. If you're not well, call in. They'll figure it out. It's not your problem when you're sick." And I remember, I think I said something like, call me back or whatever when you're done checking in, so I can at least, make sure that, we're talking about me worrying about your sleep schedule. I was worrying about your health at that point. I'm like, just give me a call when you're done, so I know you're kind of like going to go take it easy. And you were like, "Oh, he gave me so much shit for calling in," and you eventually like just snapped at him because you were feeling that crappy. It's like, when was the last time I called out of work? And the guy legit, your boss at that time could not think of a time you'd ever called out sick. So that's when he backed off and said, "Oh yeah, you must be really bad if you're actually trying to call out of work. I'm sorry."
4
and
years,
like dropped it.
4 years working for the same company. I only had one sick day, and I only refused extra shifts twice.
Wow.
And that included a period where, in a December, like during the fucking holidays, where I worked 32 days in a row without a day off.
Oh God, I remember that. I remember talking. You were so loopy during that period.
So
you weren't sleeping.
This is why I'm an anarcho-communist now, because fuck the man. They will abuse you without a second thought for your own well-being.
Yep. Fair enough,
Unionize, everyone.
Yep.
Can't argue that logic.
Anyways. So bad work experiences aside. Shit, there was something I wanted to mention. My brain, never mind. I've lost it. I'll remember it about a half hour from now, and I'll write a tweet about it or something.
Okay. All right.
Good to know.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I have some good ideas. I'm probably just thinking off the top for in terms of world building, in terms of countries. We're probably gonna have one that's
Cats.
like more of a traditional sort of fantasy kingdom, and then maybe kind of a more steampunk themed area that
steampunk's always fun.
Is run by basically a giant clockwork computer that's attained something approaching godhood.
Ooh, I want to come from that one. That's my hometown.
And then
you can't go wrong with a very strongly magical kingdom.
Yeah, I was just thinking like that. Maybe a kingdom where it's like a magocracy run by sort of the magical class.
Yeah. Oh.
For lack of a better term, did we lose someone?
Sasha disappeared for a second, but she
Sasha
appears to be
came back. We love you.
No, she came back. She came back immediately.
My home planet needed me.
For lack of a better term, what was it? From Dragon Age, the one nation that was all very pro mage. They also were very pro slavery, which I don't like that part.
Probably not that.
Yeah, no, not that direct. I don't mean that direct of a copy, but the idea of the social class. There's a bit of a social class superiority by the magical class.
Probably going to be more of like a Romans. Well, I shouldn't specifically name drop Romans because Romans totally had slaves, but that whole idea that there are
castes.
Everybody's equal, but people with magic are more equal than others. Kind of like
it's on paper, but yeah,
kind of like how being a subject of the Roman Empire and being a Roman were two different things.
Yeah,
and like they were generally like being a subject of the empire meant that you had certain rights and were treated like, well, depending on your governor, generally okay. Versus being a Roman, meaning that you get to have political office and all these things.
It's gonna bother me now. I can't remember this name of this kingdom from Dragon Age.
I'll
remember it later. I could look it up, but I am trying to make my brain remember it.
Good luck with that.
It's not working, but I can try. Mal's looking it up.
I never remember stuff when I try it that way, Elizabeth.
Sometimes you can. Like I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue. Like as soon as I get like the first letter or something, like the rest of it'll come. Thank you. Fuck.
Tevinter.
Ah.
Yeah, it was bothering me, so I just was like straight up.
It was also bothering Mal. He's like, screw this. I'm not going through Elizabeth's dumb game. The Tevinter Imperium. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. But yeah, so, and I guess that leaves room for the fourth wild card nation, because you mentioned 3, so.
Yeah. And then, I'll come up with something fun.
Yeah.
And then, like,
nation ruled entirely by kitties.
I can't wait.
Well, if, like, I'm totally cool with somebody playing Tabaxi or whatever. And even if you want to play Tabaxi or, what is it? They released a rabbit race recently.
There's also, I saw...
And just be like a
shifter race?
A cat girl or a rabbit girl or dog boy, whatever. You want to reskin them that way, go for it.
Shark race. So Hime wants to play a shark person.
Excuse me, but I already said nothing with an innate swim speed.
Oh, yes,
Thank you
right.
for paying attention.
I mean...
That was unnecessarily catty. I'm
yes,
sorry.
It was.
I'm sorry.
So catty. Oh my god, Mal. Like, oh my god, Mal. Don't just tell people that they don't have a swim speed. Now Sahime is crying. Look what you've done, Mal. I do think it's funny that Mal's trying to end...
I don't mind making Sahime cry.
Don't say that!
Oh
my god.
Spicy Mal.
Oh my god, Mal. Like, you're calling me a gremlin. I don't like, I didn't like proudly admit my mission statement is to make people cry.
No, I love teasing Sahime. It's great.
Anyway, I think you've tried to end stream like 3 or 4 times, Mal, and we keep distracting you. So.
Yeah. Well, like, you keep being relatively on topic, is the thing.
Fair enough.
So.
See, now she's leaving. Look what you've done, Mal.
Don't leave, Sahime. Please stay. Mm-hmm. You're our only non-Dungeon Lounge viewer at this point.
Anyways.
Alright. So unless there's anything else, any other last minute ideas?
Nope.
Alright. Well, we can close the book then. And
well, thank you very much for doing this session 0, Mal. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's I have to say, like, going into this I was kind of like meh on the whole thing, but like doing this like has gotten me very excited about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I have to make another D&D character. Oh my god. But now I'm like, hey, Atelier Elizabeth.
Also, like, I know that you were really excited about one day live streaming a session 0 like this, so I'm glad that we finally got to do that.
Yay.
Okay, well, moving right along. So,
yep. Great.
Uh,
Or any closing remarks, I guess. Closing remarks.
yeah. What are our general closing
Right.
things?
Is the aim to start this next Sunday? Like, are we
Yeah.
going right into this? So make a
Yeah.
character
Okay.
during this week? Okay.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
I have some time tomorrow. I can probably sit down and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I can.
then, what other closing things are we supposed to do? My brain is so
Well,
bad.
we're supposed to talk about our Discord and our
streams.
Yes, please
YouTubes.
join us on Discord. Look at our YouTube and follow us on the Twits. Coming up next on Tuesday. It's the day that starts with a T that isn't Thursday. I'm going to be finishing Fatal Frame 3 and then playing something else. I don't know what the something else is yet, but it'll be something else. And then on
Something else.
Wednesday afternoon, we have more Hollow Knight.
Yep.
Yep, more Hollow Knight
I'm
with
not done
Flora.
yet.
She's gonna do it. She's gonna finish it.
Thursday,
I don't know, maybe.
I
nothing
believe.
this Thursday. Friday, we have Elizabeth playing more.
Shadow Hearts won the
Shadow
poll,
Hearts.
so Shadow Hearts.
Yeah, please show up for that. Please and thank you. It would be much appreciated. Saturday then is Sasha playing more Divinity.
Yes.
Yes, playing even
Divinity
more
is the new game.
And then next Sunday, we're going to kick off this new campaign. We're going to have another guest, maybe a new guest, maybe not. We'll see. And we'll actually get this new campaign rolling.
Yeah.
And then, that's our week.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. Yeah.
Yeah, Mariachi Gunslinger Man.
Yeah.
Ricardo.
Thank you. Thousand
my
thank yous for everybody
Thank you,
who showed up
everybody.
today.
Yeah.
You were all
Yeah.
beautiful and wonderful and great. And now let's find somebody to raid.
Yeah.
Woo. Rating.
The raid thing is taking a long time to start.
This is my fate is streaming right now.
You know what? Fate's had a hard time lately.
Yeah, she's been having a bad day.
All right,
Let's send her
let's
some
go.
love.
Go see
Yeah.
Woo. Thanks,
Raid that
Alyssa, and you
fate.
too.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
Thanks for
everybody.
tuning in.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Woo.